Yo, what's going on, and thank you for clicking on the video. If you're new to the channel and you go on to like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel for future content, and so that you don't miss any future content, make sure you've got that notification bell ticked or whatever. So yeah, today's video we're going to be getting the front wing, front valance and sill painted on the MK3 Fiesta. So enough for the chatting, let's get into the video. Right, so this just slides to the right, then go to the left, and you'll be able to pull this out. Now I'm going to take our string, make sure it's long enough, so there, round there, that should be fine. Right, a knot round here, it's a hard knot, 5, 4, 5, 5. Now that knot's on there, turn this to remove the lens cover, put that in the car so it doesn't go waters, and pop that in there, and then just tie it round the wing mirror. Right, so now that's through there, we're going to heat up this bump strip and then remove it with the fishing wire like a saw. So when you're removing bump strips like this kind on the MK3 Fiesta, make sure when using the heat gun not to stay in one space, one part of the, well, one area for too long, because you will get paint bubbling and, well, you probably need the car painting then. But as we are repainting the car anyway, I wasn't exactly too careful, just wanted the strips off. There we go. Now we'll remove the rest of that with a caramel wheel and tar and glue. We'll be back in a minute to get the caramel wheel and tar and glue. So we carried on removing the bump strip from both doors and went to get the caramel wheel to remove the remaining leftover foam backing tape from the bump strips. You can see it's removing there. Somehow there's an illusion, but it looks like there's only half a wheel and the rest of the wheel's in the car. Looking back at this now. Now we've finished with the caramel wheel, we're going to use our tar and glue remover and to remove any excess glue left behind from the double-sided sticky back foam. Now we have all the glue removed and the sticky back foam, it's time to remove the paint with the paint and rust remover disc on the angle grinder. This was pretty fun. It's enjoyable seeing where you've been and where you're going each time the paint removes. Now we have the paint removed on the lower section of the front wing, we're going to quickly zip over with some epoxy primer before removing the paint from the front valance. Once the paint's removed from the front valance, we're then going to go on to remove the paint from the rest of the front wing. So moving on to the front valance now, we're going to do half of it and then go over it again with some epoxy primer. But hopefully you're enjoying this video. If you are, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, then please subscribe. And to not miss any future content going forward, make sure to hit that notification bell. But now, let's get back to the video. So now we have the paint off half of the front valance, we're going to quickly again whip over with some epoxy primer to stop it flash rusting and rusting in the future. So now you can see we're on the front wing. We have removed the crow's foot off the top of the edge of the wing. Now we're going to remove the rest of the paint. So we're just going to finish off with the paint and rust remover and then wipe over with a cloth quickly, ready for some 240 grit sandpaper to prep ready for the epoxy primer. After this we're going to go on to removing the remaining portion of paint from the lower section of the wing. So you've already seen me epoxy primer the front lower half of the wing. Now we're going to go over the remainder of the wing. Now we have that in etching primer with high build primer. This is the second to final coat before we will apply colour. So after this we just use a regular grey primer after this. Now that the wing's in epoxy primer and high build primer, we're going to sand down the front valance with a sanding pad, and we'll then move on to masking up the front of the car and ready to apply some stone chip. So we're quickly going to wipe over the bottom of the front valance and lower section of the front wing ready for stone chip, but before that we need to mask up, and we're going to do that now. Now that we've finished masking up, we're going to get the big blanket sheet from out the back of the car and cover up the wheel and tyre, ready for spraying the stone chip. Just going to finish covering the wheel here, and then we'll apply some stone chip to the front. So just finishing off the second coat of stone chip now, and then after this we're going to be painting it Spanish Radiant Red, or colour code P6. So off camera we applied the first coat of Spanish Radiant Red, and now we're just going to sand it back with 1100 grit sandpaper and get ready for the second coat. And now we start to apply our second coat of the Spanish Radiant Red, and after this it will be final coat, sanding and buffing. But hopefully you'll have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel below, and so you don't miss any future content, make sure you've got a notification bell ticked. So let's get back into the rest of the video. So we've got the front done and the front wing done now, so we're going to continue onto the sill and removing the rust from underneath it and the sides. And then after that we're going to get it in some primer and start messing around with the rear arch. So now we're just going to apply some 1K epoxy primer to the bare metal, and then we'll move on to doing some of the rear arch. So we're coming up to the end of the video now. Hopefully you'll have enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. If you're not already, then please subscribe to the channel, and going forward is not to miss any future content. Make sure you've got that notification bell highlighted. But until the next video, I'm going to say peace.